Hello everybody, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. So, watching a couple of videos recently about Ringo Starr. Joe Mayo at the Mean Mr. Mayo channel and Beatley Tone, Beatley Tone's Beatles channel, Tony, decide to do videos talking about Ringo and his impact on them and their fandom and whatnot. Does anyone really care what Joe Mayo or Beatley Tone have to say about Ringo Starr? I do. I care. I want to hear what other folks think. I want other opinions. I want to know their take on things, what makes them tick. The artists that I love as well, and I want to know what makes them love or not love that artist. I want to know. I'm curious. I want to learn. Because everyone's opinion matters, folks. Everyone's. It's important. And I respect Joe Mayo's opinion, and I respect Beatley Tone's opinion as much as I would respect yours about this topic. You see, folks, way back in 1989, when I first saw Ringo for the first time, it was an unbelievable moment for me, folks. Having been a Beatles fan since I was 3 years old in 1964, my brother went. A few other people I know, friends went. I'm not sure if Mrs. Street went at the time. She might have. I believe she did. There were some other people. We had a group. We had like 6 of us or something. We had great seats. It was in one of those like 18, 20,000 shed places, you know, with a big lawn in the back with thousands on the lawn. And then under the roof, like an amphitheater, there's thousands more. We had fabulous seats. We were right up in the front section. And I remember my brother shaking me when Ringo came bounding out onto the stage in that first All-Star tour of 1989, shaking me, going, "Can you believe it, Matt? Can you believe it? After all these years, you've been a fan." He was more excited than I was, I think. After all these years of being a Beatles fan, since you were a little kid, you're finally seeing one of the Beatles in person. Oh my God. Like, he was just over the moon about it. And so was I. I was just... Yeah, I said to him, yeah, I was like in awe. There was Ringo Starr, one of the Beatles, in person, in the flesh, right in front of me, feet away from me. It was a moment, folks. It was a moment. And it happened a few months later when I saw Paul for the first time as well. But Ringo was the first. He was the first of the 4 Beatles that I saw in person, performing in concert. Folks, only a few years later, on the second tour in 1992, not only did I see Ringo with my 5-year-old son, who's now 38 years old, come on, you know, I got to meet Ringo. You've heard the story before. Go back to my earlier videos, but there's myself with Ringo and my then 5-year-old son, who's now a father, married with my two of my grandchildren, and me and Ringo. I'm sorry about the glare, doing my best here, but you get the idea, okay? There we are. There we are. So I got to meet Ringo, and I don't want to go through the whole story of how that happened, but Ringo was so gracious. You can go back and see the video. Ringo was so gracious, so kind to my son and I, took the time for us before the show back in his dressing room. Folks, go see the video. I think you'll enjoy the story about it. If I can find it, I'll put the link below. He was wonderful, folks. He was wonderful, and we had a great time. But the bottom line is, we all have various reasons why we follow Ringo, why we enjoy Ringo, why we buy his LPs, his EPs, whatever. We do it perhaps because we like him. We just like him as a person. He's a good person, Ringo. He's a fun person to follow. He's interesting. He has a sense of humor. He has a personality. I saw it firsthand when I met him. He was just such a warm, genuine, funny guy. Loved it. As far as the music, I'm going to be honest with you. For me, half of it, not so great to me. It's okay. There's flashes of brilliance on many of this stack here that I enjoy. And then there's half over on this stack I love. These albums I love. Now his EPs, I happen to have a cassette for one of them, but on his 5 EPs, It's Metza Metza. You know, there's the EPs, I got to say, in general, aren't the best things he's ever done. There's flashes of brilliance on these. There might be a song or two on each one that I really like. And maybe if we took those one or two songs from each and made one CD, I'd be over the moon about it. But they're okay. I'm happy to have them. But this stack is the stack. The stack I love, okay? This is the stack. And rather than show every album, I'll just do it this way, all right? You want to freeze and read. I love these albums. These are albums that I thoroughly enjoy. Am I missing any in here, by the way? Oh, man, I tried to take everything. All right, I'm missing Bad Boy. Bad Boy's kind of a tweener for me. But Bad Boy, I'll put in this stack. I've always liked Bad Boy, so I don't know why I didn't put that one in the stack. But anyway, put Bad Boy in there too. And then here's the other albums that I really enjoy of Ringo. And I do listen to these on occasion. I also have plenty of compilations of Ringo that I listen to a lot. I have one, a bootleg or fan club only issue. It's a double CD I listen to all the time. It's like got everything from the beginning right up to, I think, Postcards from Paradise. It has like, it's a fan club only, but it has like the best of all those albums. And they nailed it. They picked a lot of great ones. So I love that. So we all have our different reasons. Now, in Joe and Tony's video, Tony, they were talking about loyalty. Do we buy Ringo's stuff? Do we buy all this stuff just out of loyalty because he was in the Beatles and we feel obligated to buy it? You know, like here's all his EPs. With Tony, it was more loyalty, he said. That, you know, he doesn't even have Crooked Boy. Basically, he likes Ringo. He's a fan of Ringo. He thinks Ringo's good and all that. But he doesn't go back to a lot of his stuff often. But out of loyalty, he's bought most of it. But Crooked Boy, he kind of put a line in the sand. And because he didn't really like or care for Crooked Boy, he didn't buy it. But he is looking forward to the brand new Ringo album, Look Up, coming up January 10th of 2025. And I respect that. I respect Tony's opinion. Now, Joe, he said, it really didn't matter whether Ringo was a Beatle or not, a little bit. He said, yeah, he was honest and said, yeah, there's some loyalty there. I buy things of Ringo out of loyalty. But Joe gave a little different take when he said that he just also enjoys the fandom of it. He likes the fact that he got turned on to Ringo through the Beatles, and because of that, he enjoys being a fan of Ringo. He likes to follow Ringo as a fan. He likes to buy Ringo's stuff because he enjoys being a fan of Ringo. And he was honest and said, does he love everything Ringo's ever put out? No, but he likes a lot of what Ringo put out. And Tony was a little more like sketchy on that. He liked some of Ringo, but a lot of it he wasn't going to put on every other day, that type of thing. And I respect that. And I would say with me, I'll take pieces of it all. I'm somewhere in the middle. I have loyalty. I'm a fan of Ringo. I like much of his music. Like I said, if you look at the two stacks, they're pretty well even. Like I said, you could even add, like, here's the good stack, here's the stack I don't listen to that often. It's like 50-50, you know? It's like 50-50. And these are the EPs that kind of, 50-50, I guess, as well. So I do like much of his music. And I will admit that, yes, obviously being part of the Beatles is huge. He was in the Beatles. When the Beatles broke up, I wanted to follow John, Paul, George, and Ringo's solo careers. I was a fan of the Beatles. But what's wrong with that? Why can't I follow Ringo because he was part of my favorite group of all time? I like Ringo the way I like Raul Malo from the Mavericks. They're one of my favorite like country pop bands of all time. I'm a big fan of the Mavericks if you've ever watched my channel. And by the way, say a prayer for Raul Malo. He's battling a cancer diagnosis as we speak right now. So pray for Raul that he gets better soon. Okay, he's a great guy and a great artist. But anyway, folks, I like Ringo like I like Raul from the Mavericks. I'm a Mavericks fan first. I have to have everything by the Mavericks. But Raul also puts out solo albums. And I will pick up Raul's solo albums because he's in the Mavericks. I like the Mavericks. I want to see what Raul is doing. Do I like everything that Raul has put out solo-wise? No, I don't. But I do like some of it. So that's where I focus on. Same with Ringo. You could say the same for Joey Ramone. Rest in peace, Joey Ramone. But he's put out a couple of solo albums, one posthumously after he died. His family put it out. I picked up those 2 albums because I'm a Ramones fan. And Joey was in the Ramones. And when these 2 solo albums came out, I bought them out of loyalty because I like the Ramones and I want to see what Joey did on his own. I would say the same with Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher from Oasis. I'm a huge Oasis fan. Manchester, baby. Manchester. I'm a fan of Oasis. So when Liam and Noel were on their own, Oasis is getting back together next year. Thank goodness. I can't wait. But anyway, that's another video. But I buy Liam and Noel's solo stuff because they're in Oasis. Get it? Is this making sense yet to anybody? All right. So when Joe and Beatley Tone are talking about loyalty, they're onto something there. All right. Yeah, sometimes we may not like everything the solo artist puts out after they leave the group, so to speak, or whatever. But because we like that original artist, we are loyal to the members of it, and we want to see what they're up to. We are fans, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Ray and Dave Davies from the Kinks. Kinks are long gone. 30 years ago they broke up, or close to that. But I still seek out and listen to Ray and Dave's solo material because they were in the Kinks. Would I be a fan of Dave Davies if there was never a Kinks? Would I be a fan of Raul Malo if there was never the Mavericks? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe if it was, placed in front of me and I could have heard it or was exposed to it. Doug Feiger from the Knack, rest in peace, put out a solo album. I got it right away. Why? I love the Knack. I wanted to hear what Doug did on his own before he passed away. Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's. Love the Go-Go's, one of my favorite female power pop groups. So when Belinda put out solo albums, guess what? I checked them out. It's just, I could go on, but I don't want to belabor the point here, folks. The point is, we're fans, and we are very excited to follow particular artists. And whether that artist breaks up and members go solo or not, if we're so into that artist that we want to continue following the individual members because we love the original artist, what's wrong with that? Ringo's got a new album coming out January. I'm excited about it. Look up. I've done videos about it. Go back and see my videos. I'm excited for it. Ringo doing his second country-flavored album. It's right in his wheelhouse as far as I'm concerned. Buku's the Blues is one of my favorite Ringo solo albums. It's in the good stack. I promise. So, folks, I enjoyed Beatley Tony's video about Ringo. I enjoyed Joe's follow-up, Mr. Mayo, about Ringo, because they both made great points. Go see their videos. Great points about why they are fans of Ringo Starr, why they buy his stuff. They both have little different takes on it, but I think you'll find it very interesting. And I hope you enjoyed my take. I am a fan. I love Ringo Starr. Does that mean I love everything he's put out? No. There's actually some stuff, here's the bad stack, that I don't listen to that often, okay? It's like mezza, okay? We're talking like 50, the pie of the scale, I don't know which way it would go here, but it's somewhere around in the ballpark of 50-50, okay, folks? So I'm being honest, all right? Half of Ringo's stuff, not so much. The other half of Ringo stuff, I do enjoy it on a regular basis. That's it, folks. That's just my little take. I didn't mean to ramble on, but hey, something to do. I'm bored, Plus, I like Joe and I like Tony, so I wanted to do something in support. So go check out their videos. Love you all. Bye-bye.